Hello there, Dexter fans, and welcome to a brand new episode of Dexter Unwrapped, a podcast where we wander into the shadows and unwrap the dark mind of everyone's favorite vigilante serial killer, Dexter Morgan. As always, I'll be your host, Michaela.
And I'm Brooke.
And today we're talking about episode 6 of Dexter Resurrection, titled Cats and Mouse.
Somebody once told me, you have to go through hell to achieve resurrection. Hallelujah.
All right, we're not going to yap too much. I think we're going to get straight into our episode. So we start off our episode here.
I want to talk about this title card
That's what I was
first.
getting ready to say, the episode
I
title.
actually didn't mind this one because it did something.
Right.
He was sweeping it away. That's perfectly fine. It's not just floating there on the sidewalk.
Sure, okay. So that one's not too bad. But Dexter's sweeping. He's like kind of picking up the outside of Blessing's home when Blessing comes outside and tells him that his mother has passed away, Prudence, and that they will be having a wake for her. I think Dexter says, what did he say? Death comes for us all.
Yeah.
Which normally, like, someone's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, condolences. I'm sorry for your loss. But of course, that is not what Dexter said. And he kind of like shoots himself in the foot. Like the look the look on his face, you can tell he knows that he said some dumb shit once again. Poor guy. So Harrison shows up to kind of help Dexter out, bringing him something to wear to Prudence's wake, and Harrison decides to go with him. They have like a really tender moment. It's a real dad and son moment where he's showing Harrison how to tie a tie.
Yeah, very sweet moment here. I also love this next shot that we're going to get.
Harry, Dexter, and Harrison.
Yeah, of them all lined up together. It's so good.
Yeah. And I also wanted to mention, it's so sweet here. He says, your mother would be so proud, both of them. Talking about Rita and Hannah. Well, because Harrison mentioned how difficult Hannah's death was for him. She kind of was his mom.
Yeah, I mean, she practically raised him. I mean,
Yeah.
he was still
In diapers when
yeah.
Rita got slashed by Trinity. And then, Dexter left and did what he did, and Harrison was with Hannah for most of his childhood.
And we also get here Harrison saying that her funeral was, very hard, especially having to go alone.
Absolutely. This kid's been through every episode. I feel more bad for Harrison. I'm like, oh, fuck. This kid really has been through so much. And but it is nice, though, to see, Dexter and Harrison finally connecting and finally doing something normal. He's not showing him how to chop someone up. He's just showing him how to tie a tie, which is a very basic father-son type of thing. And yeah, like we mentioned earlier, we get this shot. It's Harrison, and behind him is Dexter, and behind him is Harry. 3 generations of Morgans. It's very heartfelt. It's a really cool shot.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a shame Harrison couldn't see Harry too.
I know, right?
So Dexter and Harrison go to Prudence's wake. It's hilarious. Dexter's like, listen, they're really devastated. Just be ready for sadness. And they walk in and it's a fucking party.
Yeah, there's music bumping. There's tons of food.
That's how I want my funeral to be. I want people to be like doing shots, taking bong rips. Like, I don't want nobody to be crying, standing around.
Yeah, just make it a big party.
Yeah, celebration of life, man. And Dexter goes to pay his respects to Prudence, who's just laying there dead. And
Yeah, I wasn't expecting her to just be chilling there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what a wake is. And they're all partying around her. But Blessing's wife comes up to him and she's like, you're not squeamish around dead bodies, are you? He says, sometimes. I think he also mentioned he hadn't been to like a funeral since Rita's death. So long time. So yeah, it probably is a little bit uncomfortable for him. But then we get over to Charlie. What is Charlie doing? She is going to none other than Red's apartment. Uh-oh.
Yeah, she discovers that he hasn't been home in a while.
I mean, yeah, all of his shit's moldy. It's like he's not been there in weeks, obviously, because he's fucking dead. But it seems like they're still not putting 2 and 2 together. I don't know. But she calls Prater, and she tells him Red's MIA too. So I'm assuming they have already figured out that Lowell is missing. That Lowell's not around. And so now, she's like, Red's missing too. But we don't really get anything else on that. Prater is like 10-4. But then we get back over to Prudence's wake. Michael is too much this season, man. So they do something called Cats, where everybody gets to choose one of Prudence's little collectible cats.
And why the hell does he choose the biggest cat in that damn room?
The image of him standing there awkwardly with that huge cat should be a meme. Hilarious. He does his little spiel, tries to be as genuine as possible, and of course fakes a tear or two because everyone else is crying, so he's like, oh yeah, me too. Michael has really great comedic timing. Even in a show like this where it's really not like a funny show, it's very serious most of the time, he makes me laugh a lot.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
I saw I think it was actually Princess Goes that posted it on their TikTok, and he was getting it to eat an eraser, and it reminded me of you because he had Crocs on. He had butterfly Crocs on.
Okay.
On stage, getting down. I was like, oh my God, I love him so much. Anyway, I digress. So that's partially where our episode title comes from, is all of these cats. And Blessing starts to speak about his mother a little bit, but he gets really choked up and he kind of like has to walk away. It's really sad. People think he's the New York Ripper, like heavy.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that.
Heavy. I've seen Blessing's the New York Ripper, and I've seen Jonah Mitchell.
Yeah.
Arthur Mitchell's son is the New York Ripper.
I don't know how they would go about like bringing Jonah back, but
that would be one hell of a twist. I tell you what. So would Blessing. Like,
yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Blessing thing either.
People fucking believe that shit though. Like, people are riding.
I mean, there is a scene later in the episode that maybe might.
He says something a little ominous.
Yeah.
Which is why people kind of leaned into that. But Dexter gets a phone call, and he has to step outside to take it. Damn, this bitch's mind works fast. I swear to God. So it's Prater calling him. And Prater is outside of Red's apartment. He's like, where you at, bruh? When you gonna be home? Like a freaking stalker girlfriend or something.
Yeah, and Dexter is just quick with it. He's
really
like,
is.
Never. He's like, you broke into my house, and now I have to.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he says, I value my anonymity.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, that makes so much sense. Red was very anonymous. Red did not have anything on the internet about himself. He was very much, an in the shadows type of dude. So it's a really great explanation as to why he hasn't been back to his apartment or his job, because people know where he lives, and he doesn't fuck with that. Like, he just comes up with shit on the spot, dude. Like, I can't even, I mean, I know he's a fictional character and like whatever, but I can't even, you know what I mean? It's just like, I'd have been like, you know what I mean? Like, ain't no way.
Even Prater is like a little taken aback. He's like, damn,
he got me. And Prater insists that Red or Dexter meet him at his home ASAP. So Prater's, he looks a little pissed. He knows something inky is going on in this circle, and he's really not fucking liking it. Can't blame him. He's got a lot to lose here. And so do all these other people. You know, he's this big billionaire philanthropist. Think of the media circus if it was uncovered that he collected and was friends with serial killers.
Yeah,
it would not look good for him.
No. And I keep thinking about the phones that he gave to them earlier. I was expecting that to come into play. Maybe it will later, eventually. I don't know.
I mean, it would make so much sense. They have to be tracked. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it would come into play, but we'll see, I guess. So we get over to Harrison in his blue jacket. He's going, he goes and gets a pamphlet from this like NYU pop-up, and he's pretty discouraged when he sees the tuition and room and board, which is like 80 grand or some shit like that together.
Yeah, absolutely insane.
Which, like I was telling Michaela, is really not, like, that's expensive, but that's not even near as expensive as some of these places, which is insane. That's for one fucking year.
Ridiculous.
So he's like, yeah, no way. Because, like, of course, he doesn't have any money. And then he gets a call from
Elsa,
and Elsa asks him to babysit once again. And he throws his pamphlet in the trash. Feel bad for this kid, man. And he is super smart. Like, he could totally do NYU. And next we get over to the NYPD, the department, and Claudette is interviewing the man who was almost killed in the last episode by Lady Vengeance. The guy who Dexter saved his fucking ass. Not this traumatized young man. So this guy, you know, the guy that Lady Vengeance had tied up, they're interviewing him. This guy's traumatized. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, he's like, she had me tied up like something out of Christian Grey's Red Room.
And it really was. She had like a ball gag in its mouth. It's like, okay. If the dude was guilty, I'd have been like, slay, boots the house down, sister. But this guy didn't deserve it. He seems like a decent guy. But Detective Oliva, he's like, did she mention anything about chopping you up into pieces? It's a crazy thing to ask somebody. And he's like, was that supposed to happen? This poor guy. And of course, Miss Staying Alive, putting her nose into shit, she immediately clocks that there is something weird going on. That what happened to Ryan Foster and what happened to this guy are very different, and it doesn't sound like the same person.
Yeah, Oliva's like, what happened with Ryan could have been a last minute decision.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she had to do what she had to do.
I've heard people say he was the New York Ripper too.
Or that
she was the New York Ripper. Like, all kinds of crazy shit. But yeah, he's really trying to, like, he's kind of the voice of reason, quote unquote, but she is right.
Because she's good at what she does.
Yeah. A lot like LaGuerta. A lot like Angela. They just kind of, it's the women's intuition. They kind of have this inherent feeling that something weird is going on, that things don't match up. But, I mean, how does it make sense that Ryan Foster's watch was in with Mia's trophies? So this is kind of like a clusterfuck that she just can't make any sense of.
Mark also said that Mia mentioned that he was going to be her first kill in New York.
That's not really good for the case.
No. Claudette's like,
yeah, that's just another thing. She's like, something doesn't make sense here. And, you know, Oliva's trying to talk her out of it. He's like, you know, he sustained blunt force trauma. Maybe he's confused, which all makes sense. When you're looking at things from like a normal perspective, it makes sense. Mia killed Ryan Foster. Ryan Foster was a sexual predator. It makes sense. But to Claudette, things aren't lining up the way they should. Then Batista pulls up with his little fucking suitcase. God. And his little fucking fedora. I love Batista, but he's annoying the shit out of me this season.
yeah, he's really pissing me off this season. Just leave Dexter alone.
He's like a little mosquito buzzing in your ear.
As I told you before, the Foster case reminded me of a serial killer from Miami. A person I worked with, the Bay Harbor Butcher.
James Dokes.
Not exactly. I mean, James Dokes was named by the FBI as the Bay Harbor Butcher. But this last year, I've learned new information that makes me suspect a different co-worker from back then. A forensic analyst from Miami Metro. Dexter Morgan. Dexter has a son, A young man by the name of Harrison Morgan. He's a bellman.
I'm familiar with Harrison Morgan.
I believe Harrison Morgan killed Ryan Foster, using methods taught to him by his father.
And you're just like, God, dude, leave it alone. So Batista's just fucking this all up, dude. Jesus.
Yeah, he comes in and he's like, listen.
Dexter Morgan, Harrison Morgan, just dropping all the fucking names. But honestly, dropping straight facts.
Yeah, and Claudette is on it. She's like,
I know Harrison Morgan. She like activates like some sort of sleeper cell. And they're onto it. They're completely right. Both Batista and Claudette know what's going on. It's just annoying me.
yeah, Batista's like, listen, I can get you the answers you need if you just let me tag along with you and let me come show Mia Dexter's photo and we can clear this all up.
Yeah, he wants to go with them to talk to Mia in prison. He really thinks he's onto something here, and unfortunately he is. So how this all unfolds is, this is all so interesting. What a fucking crazy web.
Yeah.
And, you know, Batista's kind of telling her, like, we all have that one case that haunts us. For him, it's the Bay Harbor Butcher. For Claudette, it's the New York Ripper. As we see behind Batista in this scene, there's a big, it's like a newspaper article that says the New York Ripper in huge font. So she understands that all too well. And I'm really interested to see how the New York Ripper ties into all of this, because it has to.
I honestly don't know if we're going to get it this season or not. I mean, we have 4 more episodes left.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess it would make sense how they could possibly leave that on a cliffhanger for season 2.
Yeah.
But I am interested to see how that even relates to this in any way. It's going to be interesting. Claudette tells Batista that he can come along to show Mia the photograph. But we don't get any more on that. We get over to Leon Prater's. Okay, so they're having like a little luncheon at Prater's to discuss what's happening with Mia and with Lowell. They can't find Lowell, and of course Mia's been arrested. And so it's just Rapunzel, Dexter, and Gemini. They're talking with Prater. They're all a little bit concerned about what's going on. Gareth, the Gemini killer, he's especially concerned because he is, you know, at the very top of the FBI's most wanted list. So he has a lot to lose with all of this, and he seems very concerned about it. And he's a lot more talkative than he has been in previous, you know, times we've seen him.
Yeah, I think this is like the first we've actually got to hear
him speak,
yeah,
pretty much. I mean, he spoke in the last episode, but not like this. It's very odd. You know, I think at one point Dexter says he's very full of himself, because he is. He's talking about, you know, they're going to make a movie about him, and they're talking to one of the Culkins about playing him, which made me LOL. Honestly, slay. The Culkins are great.
Yeah, and he's also saying here, he's like, you know, what if Mia says something to get herself out of the trouble she's in and, you know, get my name out there to the police.
Of course. I mean, that's what is so dangerous about this whole thing Prater's got going on for all of these guys, is if one person rats, the whole fucking ship is going down. Gareth is also sexist.
He's like, this is why girls shouldn't be allowed in the group.
Fucker. So Gareth is really concerned, and he's vocalizing that. He's like, it's time for desperate measures or extreme measures. I don't remember exactly what he says. But he's pretty much fucking had it. And he's like, we got to get rid of this bitch. We got to do something. And he is unknowingly putting himself at the top of Dexter's list. So, I mean, they all kind of are in one way or another. But Gareth especially is at this moment. Prater gives them some extra money and promises that everything's going to be cleared up very soon. So we'll see what that means. We don't get any more on that. We get back over to Charlie, who's at this like gambling den. I wonder if this is where the blood slides were won.
Yeah, very possible.
If you recall, Prater mentioned that he won them from an FBI agent that had a gambling problem, so it's very possible. And Charlie sits down to this random guy and gives him a huge envelope, which I assume is cash.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's just a fat wad.
And she says, need a friend. And she gives this guy this manila envelope. So it's a very short scene. It's very like, once again, building suspense because what the fuck is she doing? Who is this guy? But we don't see anything else on it. We get back over to Dexter. And he is following Gemini, Gareth. He's also doing some digging online. He's looking at like crime scene photos from the Gemini killings. And they're very interesting. The bodies are posed to look like the Gemini symbol, which is really interesting. And Dexter follows Gareth into this little library. Michaela said it looked like Mooney's from You.
Yeah, I was hoping we
You're
would get...
dying for a crossover.
I know. But one of the writers that was on Dexter also writes for You as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't watched the show You, it is so good. If you like Dexter, you will like You. Now, you will not like Joe Goldberg like you like Dexter Morgan. His name is hard to say. Joe Goldberg is way less likable.
Yeah, he is just killing to kill.
Yeah. He is a sexual predator. He is a freak. But the show is really, really good. So if you haven't seen it, check that out.
And it also has a voiceover.
Yeah. Oh,
in it
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, good point. Joe does have he has an inner voice just like Dexter does.
And Dexter here, he's good at stalking people, but I feel like he's just following a little too close.
Openly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not being very shady about it at all. And that would be weird as hell if Gemini saw him, skulking around following him. He would know something was up. This guy seems really, really, really intelligent, this character. And he notices Gareth putting something into one of the books. He said he came to the bookstore with a bookmark. He puts something in the book and puts it back on the shelf, which is very intriguing to Dexter. Side note, I fucking love David Desmolchin. I'm sorry, I know I say that every fucking episode. Love that man so much. Would die for him. Pretty much. So he finds it's this, the book that Gareth put the bookmark in is like serial killers of the modern century, the biggest serial killers. And he flips to the page, and of course it's the Gemini killer page. And it is a meeting. It says 8 p.m. and I think it says the Met on the other side. So Gareth is trying to meet someone at 8 p.m. Dexter does not like this guy.
No.
He's like, God, the ego on him. He doesn't like the spycraft. He doesn't like the egotistical air that Gemini puts off.
Yeah, he just gives off bad vibes. I don't like him either.
Oh, I love him. Oh my God, I love him. I know I need to simmer down, but he's like, I wonder if I'm in here. And he flips a couple chapters over. And of course, chapter 10, the Bay Harbor Butcher, he is in this book. And it would make so much sense that Gemini knows a lot about him. I mean, look at this book. Like, there's so much information clearly on the Bay Harbor Butcher. This is all very, very interesting.
We also see that the Gemini has stayed around, and he is lurking, and he's watching Dexter open this book. So
Why is Dexter being so... This is not like him typically. Like, he didn't even...
I know, he told Harry earlier he was tired of being careful. So
And I thought I noticed that. I thought I saw Gareth
Yeah.
peeking around the corner. Dexter is being sloppy. But Dexter flips to the first page of the Bay Harbor Butcher, and it's a big picture of James Dokes. Poor Dokes,
like
dude.
his face just being blasted everywhere.
Oh,
Poor
my
guy didn't do
God.
nothing.
Golly, dude. I feel bad for him. Even in death, he is so disgraced. Like, he was annoying because he was always on to Dexter, and that was annoying as a viewer. But he didn't do any of the shit that he is accused of. And he has went down in history as one of the biggest serial killers in the world.
Yeah, like line in this book says he's a mission-oriented killer, and they call him a modern-day avenging angel.
Ooh. Honestly, slay. But, like, it sucks. It does suck. It feels disgraceful that in death he is plastered in these books. And honestly, probably a little bit annoying to Dexter. Like, he doesn't want to get caught, sure, but he's like,
This is my work.
yeah, this is my shit. What do you mean? And then we get a short little scene of Charlie again at the hospital with her mother, who is obviously gravely ill. And she says to her mom, "You wouldn't believe what I had to do today." So I'm interested to see how that ties in as well. Like, what is Charlie's place in all of this? I find her a very interesting character.
Yeah, I can't wait to see more of her.
Yeah. I think she's going to end up doing some bad bitch shit. I really do.
Yeah, I hope her and Dexter like collab and just take down Prater.
Dexter X Charlie, yeah. Me too, dude. That would be sick. So we get over to Harrison, who is at Elsa's apartment to watch her son Dante. And she's telling him about how they found black mold in Dante's room. And that's what was causing like his asthma and everything. But the landlord is not wanting to fix the issue. And it's seeming to piss Harrison off.
Yeah, Harrison does not like that. He's like, why can't you just move?
Yeah. Of course she can't, because adult problems. We're going through the same thing right now. It's so expensive to move. Especially like to rent a place. It's beyond fucking ridiculous. I can't imagine in New York City how expensive and ridiculous it is.
Yeah, I don't even want to know. Shoo.
I mean, truly. So we'll get more on that later on the episode, but Harrison's really not liking the way that the landlord is doing Elsa. So we get back over to Dexter's apartment, and Blessing's losing his shit. He is mad as hell about this ice. His son-in-law got too much ice, too many bags of ice.
Yeah, he's like, I only asked for 1 bag.
He's fucking pissed that this guy showed up with 3 or 4 bags of ice. Dexter's like, I can store some ice, trying to help remedy the situation, but Blessing's having a minty bee.
Yeah, it's been a rough day.
Yeah, I mean, his mom passed. I don't blame him. I acted like that at work earlier for no reason. So, like, I totally get it. Poor guy. So, Dexter goes down into his apartment to store some of the ice. And someone is there waiting for him.
Hello.
Gareth, hey, welcome to my abode.
Why did you take my note, Red?
It's embarrassing. I'll just come out and say it. I'm a fan.
And you kind of suspect as much, because like the camera angle when Dexter's first getting home is a little weird. It looks like someone's watching him.
Yeah, do you think Dexter knew that Gareth was following him, and that's why he left the door open? Because he did leave the door open to his apartment before he went to go help with the ice.
It's very possible because he dropped a book, remember, in the bookstore. Whether Gareth must have done that on purpose or not, that really wasn't clear. But I do think maybe Dexter knew that he saw him or suspected as much.
Yeah.
And maybe kind of...
Because he didn't really seem too startled
No.
that Gareth was just chilling in his apartment.
Not at all. And Dexter's one of those people, like, Gareth is very smart, but Dexter, I think, is smarter. And he knows how these people work. Serial killers, they kind of have a little bit of a disadvantage because they have these blinders on in the way that they see life. And Dexter doesn't really have that. He can kind of see straight through it. So he probably, in the back of his mind, was planning for Gareth to show up at some point. And that's why he immediately knows the exact way to go about this interaction and to try to flatter Gareth and say, you know what, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Like,
because he knows that would be the way to kind of get Gareth off of balance, because he is so egotistical and he does think so highly of himself. Of course Dexter's a fan. Like, of course. And it seems like Gareth pretty much falls for it. He's like, yeah, well, of course you're a fan of me. You know, I could see it through your work, the way that you saw people's heads off. It was my influence, obviously. This guy has narcissistic personality disorder if I've ever seen it. And Dexter offers Gareth a gin and tonic and goes into the fridge and grabs Old Faithful, some M99.
Indulge me with one more question. Why kill in pairs?
This is my gift. They say that we enter this life alone and that's how we leave it. To die together is the ultimate bond. A father never loved his son more than in the moment before.
Wow. You really are smart.
Number 1 in college, number 1 in Mensa, number 1 in grad school, and now number 1 in the FBI serial killer list.
So Gemini and Dexter are talking here. Well, Gemini's talking about how fucking awesome he is. And he tells Dexter that Prater pays him double for preview photos. So like photos of the people that he's going to kill right before he kills them.
Yeah, he's like, has he asked you for a special trophy yet? And Dexter's like, no.
Twisted. This guy Prater is fucking twisted. Yeah. And Dexter does something a little bit different here. He puts the M99 in Gareth's drink, which we've never seen him do that before.
Yeah, very interesting.
I guess you have to adapt when you're in this type of situation, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's getting Gareth to talk about himself because obviously that's what Gareth loves talking about. And I think Gareth even said here, he's like, when you're the smartest person in every room. I mean, this guy sucks his own dick.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's not even realized what he's really gotten into, that this isn't even really read, goes to show that he's not, in fact, the smartest person in the room. So Dexter hands him his drink, and of course, Gemini being Gemini, that's what I'm saying, is like Dexter can just, because of himself being a serial killer and because of, Harry's influence and knowing what he knows how to work these people. So he knew that Gareth was going to want to switch drinks because Gareth was immediately like, this guy probably poisoned my drink or some shit. We need to switch drinks. Dexter knew he was going to do that, so he gave him... One step ahead. Yeah, he's one step ahead. He gave himself the one with the M99 in it. This fucking show is so good. And so, of course, Gemini, Gareth, drinks the M99 in,
seconds.
2 seconds. The dude's on the ground. And Dexter's just like, yeah.
Look at the little spin he does.
And he does a Dexter original spin. It's not in a chair, but that's an original spin if I ever saw it. And he just look at the look on his face. He's just like, yeah, I did that shit, bitch. He's very proud of himself.
As he should be.
Absolutely. That was good. That was slick. So we get over to Harrison, who's watching Elsa's son. He has a little bit of an asthma attack. And Harrison, gives him the nebulizer and helps him out and then puts him to bed. And he's reading Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to him. Aren't the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, don't they live in New York City? In the sewers of New York City?
I think so.
So that's a cute little nod. Is very on point. That's what he always reads to Dante. But then there's a knock at the door, and it's the fuck-ass landlord demanding rent, even though he won't fix the mold in Elsa's apartment. Harrison's obviously fucking pissed. And we have this little moment, this little fake-out moment.
Yeah, Dexter has done this a few times, but it always gets me. I never...
I was like... stab his ass. And then I said, oh shit, he stabbed his ass. And then I was like, oh wait, no, he didn't. He has this little, just like a daydream moment. A lot like, he had one in New Blood with Matt Caldwell, where he daydreamed hitting Matt Caldwell in the face before he actually did it. So it was like that. Didn't actually happen, but he did daydream about stabbing this landlord in the face with a fork, which would have been fucking sick, honestly. But that landlord's a fucking prick, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. So we get back over to Dexter, and he has Gareth all tied up. He's duct taped.
Yeah, duct taped
This
and
is
on
all
the
very
floor.
weird. Yeah, he's on the floor. There's no kill table. He's on the floor, and he's duct taped. So this is already a little bit different than a normal Dexter kill.
I just guess he wasn't that prepared to have to kill in his little tiny apartment.
Yeah. And see, I had initially thought that Gareth maybe knew that Dexter was the Bay Harbor Butcher, just by the way he acted, the way he looked at him, you know. But obviously that wasn't true.
Yeah, and I wish we would have gotten like a moment here where Dexter admits to him that he is, but we don't. So
Unfortunate, because that guy, he's so full of himself. He probably needed that reality check.
Yeah.
Right before he dies. You know what I mean? But Gareth does see him making a blood slide. You know what I mean? So maybe Gareth was able to put it together.
maybe, yeah.
Or maybe Gareth was so full of himself that he never bothered to learn about anyone else.
Yeah, that
You
could
know,
be true as well.
Who knows?
You know what? I don't need to hear any more from Gareth tonight.
So, and a lot like this, Kill's just very different, and it's very to the point. He's like, I'm tired of hearing about Gareth, and he fucking puts the knife in his chest.
Yeah, we don't get no taunting, nothing.
No, there's
He
no
just
forehead.
stabs him.
Yeah, there's no forehead taps. There's no these are your victims. There's no fucking around at all. It is very to the point. I think he was so fucking sick of Gareth.
Yeah.
Garrett's ego and everything. He was just like, you know what, this guy has talked enough. So he kills Gareth, and as he's sitting there with the knife in Gareth's chest, there's a knock at the door, and it's Blessing.
I'm like, what are you doing?
God damn it, Blessing. So Dexter throws Gareth in the bathtub right quick, and he answers the door, and Blessing has come down to apologize for his, outburst earlier over the ice. And he explains to Dexter, like, really what his mom meant to him and what she did for him. He talks about how, before they moved to the United States, he was treated really horribly. He, was supposed to be in their army of sorts, and he didn't want to do it. He was beaten and drugged, and he even had to kill someone. He says, "Can you imagine?"
Dexter says no.
I was like, meanwhile, there's a body in the bathtub. Literally, this guy's caught hundreds of bodies, but... and it's like it's a very touching moment. Blessing's just really moved by, devastated by his mother's death. She was, as he says, his North Star. Really sad. And Dexter can probably kind of relate because he loved his mother. He loved Laura Moser very much. And, she sacrificed herself for him in a way. She got chopped the fuck up. So... And this is where I think people are kind of getting the idea that he might be the New York Ripper. I'm not sold on that. It is a little bit of an ominous moment where he says Prudence told him to never bring the darkness into his home, to always keep it separate, whatever that means.
And we get some pretty,
It's ominous music, too.
yeah.
But it could just be relating to the fact, Dexter even says, he's like, I need to be more careful. Because he has brought the darkness into his home many times over. And it's always fucked him over. I mean, he's literally, like I said, got a dead body in the bathroom as we speak. It was an interesting turn of phrase, though. It's an interesting moment, and I can see where people are getting that idea, but I'm not fully sold on that he's the New York Ripper.
Yeah, I'm not either.
And it's, Blessing's statements kind of making him realize that he needs to keep his darkness, that world, separate from Harrison, separate from his son, because Harrison doesn't have that same darkness, and he really doesn't need to be wrapped up in it. And then we have a pretty tense moment. Blessing goes into the bathroom to get some Advil, and he notices, where the shower curtain was messed up, and he messes with it a little bit, puts it back together.
Yeah, Dexter's sweating.
He's like, oh fuck. I mean, what do you think he would have done if Blessing had pulled back the curtain? You think he would have killed him? I don't think he...
I feel like he would have had to.
I understand the don't get caught thing, and but Blessing is Blessing. I don't know,
Yeah, I don't know how it would have went down.
Shoo, have me sweating. And with that, we get, Dexter throwing Gareth into the incinerator, along with Lowell and the
Red.
real Red. So we get over to this coffee shop with Dexter and Harrison, and we have, another really nice moment between them. Harrison's telling him everything that happened with the landlord. Dexter looks concerned for a minute, though.
Yeah. Harrison's like, it happened again. And Dexter's like, oh my God. Like,
What the fuck happened again? He's like, no, I'm tired, bro.
Yeah.
We can't be doing this.
Michael is such a good facial actor.
Yes.
Like, it's so good.
He can really, like, you can tell everything that his character is feeling just by the way that he
Yeah, just
looks.
with the look. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But of course Harrison's like, no, I didn't kill him. And Dexter tells him what Blessing's mother told him is don't go backwards. He tells him you had an impulse and you denied it. All that was the need to do the right thing. And he tells him that sounds a lot like your Aunt Deb, which is touching. He's like pretty much saying to him, that doesn't sound like me. I would have killed that motherfucker.
Yeah.
He says that sounds a lot like Deborah. How many times did Deborah want to beat up someone like a criminal, but she didn't. Deborah always did the right thing. I mean, except with LaGuerta, that was definitely the wrong thing.
Well, she had to do what was right for Dexter, I guess.
Exactly.
So.
But she also was so fiercely loyal and loved her family, specifically Dexter, so much that she abandoned pretty much all of her own moral code to help him. She was a good sister.
She really was.
Heartbreaking.
R.I.P.
And this whole conversation between Dexter and Harrison is kind of what I've been talking about the whole season. It's a lot of character development with Dexter specifically. He's showing, the audience, showing us that he's realizing finally that he doesn't need to mold Harrison into another version of himself, because that's not who Harrison is. Harry helped Dexter in the best way that he could, because that's who Dexter was.
And he tells Harrison here, he says, find your own path, and I'll be here to help.
Yeah, it's touching, but it's also it's going in the right direction of he's not just making another monster. He's telling Harrison, this is who you are. You have a great sense of right and wrong, and he doesn't have that darkness. So you need to be who you are. And he's not gonna push him into fucking killing people anymore, because that's not what Harrison needs. And then Dexter gets a call from Charlie.
Yeah, she tells him that he needs to be at Pier 6 in 2 hours and to bring his trophies and his tools.
Ooh, that Prater has a surprise for him. Wonder what this could be. But before we see that, we get over to the prison. The detectives, Wallace and Oliva, along with Batista, are there to talk to Mia. And they're getting ready to go in and talk to her when the alarms start going off. And of course, they go to the cell to find that Mia has hung herself. If you recall, when she and Dexter were having their little outing at the park, she mentioned to him, one guy got arrested, but he quote-unquote killed himself, allegedly, the first night he was in prison. So, and, there's a man there that kind of gets her down from her hanging, and he turns back and tells them that she's dead. And we realize it is the guy from the gambling place.
Yeah.
It is the guy that Charlie gave an envelope full of money to earlier that day. So clearly, that is one of Prater's goons who, we kind of suspected that this would happen.
Yeah, Prater said he has connections everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
And like I just said, she mentioned earlier that someone, quote unquote, killed themselves in jail. That was one of, Prater's people. And so pretty much you get arrested, you get fucking killed because you're a liability. So, and Charlie did tell her that they were going to make her stay as short as possible.
Crazy work.
Yeah, absolutely. Diabolical. And Batista's like, God damn it.
Yeah. He's like, I just want Dexter's life to end, but they're just making it hard.
Every fucking turn, nothing's going right. So, good for Dexter, though. Bad for Batista, good for Dexter. And Dexter pulls up to the pier. He sees Leon Prater, Rapunzel is there, and they're going up in a helicopter. Or a whirlybird, as Rapunzel calls it.
Yeah, Rapunzel is stoked. I'm excited to see more of his character, too. I hope we get something with him.
I would hope so too. I will say though, I'm surprised he's the last man standing pretty much. Like I thought he was going to be one of the first ones.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go first for sure.
And so they're just waiting on Gareth, is what Prater says. Dexter's a little nervous. He's like, man, Gareth is dead. I killed him. They're going to know something is up when Gareth doesn't show up. Because Mia's dead now. Lowell's not showing up. They're going to know. They're waiting there for Gareth to show up. Dexter's thinking he's not coming. But a car pulls up, and who the fuck gets out of it?
Yeah.
But my man, David Desmulchen, Gareth, the Gemini killer.
Crazy.
Apparently back from the dead, question mark.
Holy shit. Gemini. How did I not see this coming?
Just like everyone had fucking surmised, he is a goddamn twin.
A twin. Not Detective Claudette's twin.
No, which people had suspected, but he's an identical fucking
Yeah.
twin.
Crazy.
And see, you know what I mentioned earlier is I was like, he's talking way more. His demeanor is different. This is the guy we saw the first time, I think.
You think so?
He looks he's like reserved, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
I feel like the other guy, the one that Dexter killed, is a different guy than the first one we saw.
Yeah.
Their personalities are just different.
Yeah, I'm curious as if they have maybe both been attending the meetings.
Yeah, like back and forth because clearly no one knows.
Yeah.
This is a big secret apparently that Dexter has just discovered.
Yeah, and this makes a lot of sense for the note as well when he told Dexter it was for him.
Him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they are the same person.
And they even have the same name. I was reading an article, and Scott Reynolds did say that they're both named Gareth. Yes.
That's fucking. This show is so good.
The Gemini killers. Twins. Fuck me.
So congratulations to everyone that surmised that Gemini was a twin. I didn't see anyone saying this. Did you?
No, like an identical twin?
Yeah.
No.
It was always like, it's Claudette, his twin, or like, you know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
a lot of people had surmised that he was a twin. The Gemini thing makes a lot of sense. But this is so fucking cool. This is such a cool twist. And, Gareth gets in and takes a seat beside Dexter. Dexter's tweaking on the inside. He's like, oh my God, how did I not see this coming? And you can kind of just tell, like, he has a different demeanor than the other Gareth.
Yeah.
That other Gareth was very talkative and very me. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe we'll see more on him later. But this guy seems more reserved and a little different. So that was something that kind of stood out to me at the beginning of this episode. I was like, wait, this feels weird. And I'm also wondering the way they're looking at each other, if maybe he suspects that his brother has been disposed of.
Yeah, I think he knows something's up because obviously they didn't meet up.
Yeah. And they're twins. They're identical twins. They're probably in pretty frequent contact, and it's probably very weird for one of them to go ghost.
And do you think,
Say that again.
which Gareth do you think is like the main killer? Do you think maybe it's this one, not the one Dexter already killed, and that's the reason
Right.
why the other one was so...
Well, yeah, it would make sense. Like, of course you would be suspecting the loudmouth, egotistical one, but maybe he's like the silent brains of the operation.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like the big bad. You
Right.
know what I mean? Ooh, that's interesting. I'm excited. And that is the end of our episode. Really good episode.
Yeah, such a good
Wow.
episode. Crazy twist. I don't
Yeah.
think we've ever gotten a twist like that in Dexter other than maybe the ending of season 4 when Rita's dead in
That's
the
what I was
bathtub.
getting ready to say.
But-
When Rita died, I feel like that one had people on the ground barking.
yeah.
But this was really fucking good. I did, like, a lot of people did suspect twins, but the way they unraveled it, it was still, like, surprising.
Yeah, it was such a good execution.
Yes.
Loved every second of this episode.
Me too, dude. Very, very good. What would you rate this one?
I would give this one a 9.5.
Dude, I was literally on the
Yeah.
same fucking page. I don't want to say 10 because I feel like I didn't love it as much as Call Me Red.
Right.
But it was incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing fucking episode. I'm so excited to see. I can't believe we only have 4 episodes left.
I know. This season has just been flying by.
Yeah, it really has flown by. Time flies when you're having fun, man. And we've been having fun with this one. It is good. I mean, I've seen people on TikTok, like this guy that I follow. His name's Kit. He does like movie and show reviews. And he's like really not the biggest Dexter fan. He's like, I just happened to watch Dexter Resurrection and it's good. Like people are raving about it.
I mean, I think everybody was a little skeptical. I mean, this
Yeah.
is their 3rd shot now, and they're killing it. They're really killing it with this one.
Seriously, congrats to everybody because this shit is so good. And I'm so glad that this is not the last we're going to see of David Dastmalchian. I'm so fucking glad. And that is such an insane, cool fucking twist for Gemini to be 2 of the same person. Ooh, spooky. I can't wait to see.
He is getting ready to make Dexter's life a living hell. So
I fucking hope so, man. I hope so. And like I said, I mean, the last episode is called Injustice for All. So I'm really expecting everybody to get some comeuppance. I really am. I'm expecting Rapunzel to die. I'm expecting Gemini, maybe even Prater. We'll see.
yeah, I want to see Prater on the table so bad.
I know, dude. Me too. I think everybody does. Incredible. And it would be cool to see Gareth like at a proper kill. You know what I mean? Because that one wasn't proper. He was on the ground with duct taped. And it was very
Right.
fast. And it
Yeah.
was very like,
Very fast.
yeah. So I'm hoping we get like a more drawn out one with this other Gareth. So impressive. I can't wait for next week.
Yeah. Next week is titled Course Correction.
Course correction. Ooh, baby. I can't wait. All right. Well, I think that does it for this week's episode of Dexter Unwrapped. We will, of course, be back next week with our coverage of episode 7, Course Correction, like Michaela just said. Of course, as always, you guys can follow us on our social media. We have TikTok. We have Instagram. We are at Dexter Unwrapped. You can follow us on Spotify, YouTube, as well as Amazon Music. We would appreciate that very much. As always, I'm your host, Brooke.
And I'm Michaela.
And until next time, stay safe and keep that dark passenger in check.